Alright, yo, what's up, chat? Fresh out the shower, back with another video today. My days we talking about getting big arms. Yeah, alright. Terrible lighting. I look small. Never flexing my arms again. Basically, we're gonna talk about the bicep and the tricep in this video. So we've got over here, we have my beautiful drawing of the bicep and my beautiful drawing of a tricep. So they're facing this way. Obviously, this is the torso. This is the elbow. Same thing here. This is the shoulder there. That's the elbow. This is the torso. Basically, what these arrows are showing is the bicep flexes your arm at the elbow like this, and your tricep extends it. So you can see with the arrows here, the bicep's going up, and the tricep will extend it. And then I've also tried to draw the different heads of the muscle here. So there's obviously the short head and the long head of the biceps. The short head literally just goes over the elbow from like the elbow joint here, but the long head attaches up at the shoulder. And the same thing with the tricep. The lateral and medial head of the tricep attach just over the elbow, but the long head attaches past the shoulder. All this means is that your shoulder position affects the length of the muscle. So, if we're looking at the biceps long head, yeah, see we got it right here. Long head only affected by shoulder position. So if you have the arm back, the long head is stretched, and arm forward, long head is shortened of the bicep, and it's opposite way. Here, the long head of the tricep is stretched and shortened when behind you. And this is important over here because shoulder flexion will be a minor function of the biceps long head, and shoulder extension is a minor function of the triceps long head. This doesn't mean that you can bias the heads of the tricep or the bicep with your shoulder position. All that means is your muscle is in a more shortened or lengthened position. This does, however, affect the muscle stimulus doing compound movements, because if you think about in a pressing movement, your shoulder is fully extended above your head, and as you come down, it's flexed. So when you're doing this, you're lengthening the tricep at the elbow here and then straightening it in the press, but you're lengthening it here and shortening it here, so the long head gets less activation because its actual length does not change as much. Like with the lateral and medial head, it goes from stretch to contract, right, and back to stretch, but it's less of a stretch and contraction for the long head because it's occurring across both joints. Same thing with the bicep with like a pull down or something, because you're contracting here but stretching here, and then contracting here but stretching here. Here's my beautiful diagram right here of the long head when you're pressing, because it's stretched here, contracted here when your arms are straight, and then stretched here and contracted here when your arms are bent. So the actual functional length of the tricep isn't changed. Next up, we have the brachialis. This is a muscle. Here's the bicep, that's the long head and the short head. The brachialis sits underneath, and it is also an elbow flexor. The brachialis is not a part of the biceps muscle, but is in fact a different muscle. This is also trained with elbow flexion. So people tell you hammer curls, reverse curls will train the brachialis, but so will regular bicep curls. And when you are training your biceps, you want to get stability and decent range of motion, right? Unstable exercise, worse stimulus. Smaller range of motion, also worse stimulus. The shoulder flexion and extension are minimal drivers of hypertrophy in the triceps and biceps. There's not a lot of mechanical tension because your delts will take over and your lats and your chest and stuff like that. So they're obviously much stronger than your arm, a single head of your arm. Finally, we're looking at exercises. You want to pick good ones. Here we have a terrible exercise for the biceps, the weighted curl. Limited range of motion. You can't load it up because you're holding the top of a dumbbell. Why not just do a barbell curl standing like this, or pick dumbbells, anything. Don't do a weighted curl. this just annoys me a little bit. Over here we have preacher curls. Everyone loves preacher curls. I'm sure there's a way you could optimize it more, but it's stable. You can get a full range of motion. You got the whole bar here, making sure everything's good. That's why I put a big green circle and a tick and a red cross through it. Triceps, I've actually talked about this exercise before. There is zero functional tension on the biceps at this point of the movement, so why even bother doing it? Here is JM press. I love the JM press on a Smith machine. I don't do it currently, but I used to, and it's great. I love it. Stable, fixed arm pass. You can load the triceps. You can progressively overload pretty easily. Doesn't train the long head as much. It's still a good tricep exercise. Tricep exercises where your shoulders are in a fixed position, you got to push down an overhead extension. They do essentially the same thing, just from a different position. They don't really bias one head or the other. Pick your favorite. They should be pretty similar in strength as well, besides the fact that you might have less stability in your shoulders doing an overhead extension, which would cause you to be able to lift less. But that is the video for today.